Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. Command an army in strategic turn-based combat as a tactical advisor for the Orange Star Army. Your expertise is needed as you move land, air, and naval units across the battlefield and unleash powerful CO abilities to turn the tide of battle. Take down enemy squads and capture towns and bases to secure victory and keep the peace. Keep an eye on the game-changing terrain and weather as you lead units across 2 campaigns that cover the events of the Advance Wars and Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising games. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp launches for Nintendo Switch on December 3rd. You can defend your land with the help of Andy, Mac, Sammy, and other commanding officers, each with their own specialties and CO powers. Andy can repair units, while Sammy can boost the abilities of troops. Your opponents can use CO abilities of their own too. Throughout both campaigns, the COs you meet play a critical role both on the battlefield and the story. And you can also recruit some friends to see who the superior strategist is. When you aren't busy keeping the peace in one of our 2 campaign stories, flex your army commanding chops in versus mode. Up to 4 players can battle on dozens of maps. Each player chooses a CO from either campaign and can strategically use their CO powers to turn the tides of battle. Customize your combat with options like funds per allied base and fogs of war.
Stories, memorable characters, and vibrant gameplay are in store as you lead the commanding officers to victory. Play the first 2 Advance Wars campaigns in Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, marching on to Nintendo Switch this holiday. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
Like I said, those are just announced titles so far. There can always be more titles that Nintendo brings out in 2021, whether it's a stealth drop or when they're ready, they'll start talking about it. Which brings us to 2022. And there are a couple of games that are on the list, Splatoon 3, but here's the big one. Sequel to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We haven't really gotten the official trailer, the title for it, and I think there's a reason for that. Here are some screenshots from the E3 Nintendo Breath of the Wild sequel. And we'll have a trailer here in just a moment. I just wanted to go through some of these. One of the very few games, I think, if you want to, there was Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, that we get a sequel on the same system, a follow-up to the story. So if you haven't played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, you still got some time because this game could be out anywhere in 2022. It's definitely, there's going to be a lot to it. And after we watched the trailer, I want to make a comment on my prediction on what this might be about without spoiling too much of Skyward Sword. Nintendo has said that there is an official title for this game and they haven't released it because it would give some spoilers to the content of the game and the plot. Here's my thinking. I don't have any inside information. I wish I did. Maybe one day I will. But we're getting the Skyward Sword HD here next month. That's the first canonically or chronological game in the series. A lot happened in that game, and I'm not going to spoil it because just in case some people haven't played it, and kind of figure out where all the enemies come from. I have a feeling that the sequel to Breath of the Wild, with what we've seen, I think it ties back to the Skyward Sword. I think we're going to see more of the sky world in a way, if you want to say the sky uh, cities and places that we're going to. So we're going to have like our overworld this year might be up in the sky, locations from Skyward Sword. And then we're also going to have the Breath of the Wild continent that's still going to be the same. I feel that the main boss, the main antagonist of this next Zelda game is going to be the main antagonist from Skyward Sword HD. I don't have any clues to go on. I don't just kind of thinking we get this Skyward Sword HD. We have they're showing certain things of Zelda, and maybe it has something to do with the Age of Calamity side game that has come out. I don't know for sure, but I like to kind of think of maybe that's the reason why we're getting Skyward Sword HD. One of the reasons, I should say. Which brings me to my question. I just showed you some of the Nintendo titles that we're going to get in 2021, and of course, the big one in 2022. Our Dell's Pop question of today is, what Nintendo games are you looking forward to playing this year? Whether it's your virtual console or your Super Nintendo or Nintendo retro systems, let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to playing this year. Let's have a discussion into the chats because there's some great comments here. Jeremy Holder, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and Heroes was my favorite. Like, oh my God, you don't know how much that was an impact on my life. Jeremy, did you get an opportunity to listen to the music, the symphony? Because when I was listening to that, it brought back a lot of great memories for me. Hearing that the classical music, seeing the symphony play, the rock band Crush 40 playing those tunes with the gameplay footage. So if you've got some great memories of like what type of impact it made in your life, throw it in the comments because I'd always like to hear that type of stuff. Is this still considered golf? Maybe my favorite line in the game trailer ever. When I was watching that, if you haven't, Josh, Holy Moly on ABC, I think they're in their third season or second season. That is a fun mini golf game show. My mom and I watch it, and I'm telling you, it is the perfect blend of serious, funny mini golf. It's during the summer of games, I think ABC calls it. That is a definite must recommend. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy it. And Jeremy, I really want this game, Skyward Sword HD. I didn't beat it on the Wii. Oh, you didn't? Okay. Well, then I'm glad I didn't say anything about Skyward Sword. I had the gold version with the music disc. I did too. And I'm hoping that once everything starts going, that we get a Nintendo Legend of Zelda symphony like they did Sonic, because hearing those tunes through the years with orchestra, oh, if they do one a virtual event, I'm watching. And I'm hoping in the rest of 2021, 2022, if they do a tour of like, I think it was like the Legend of Zelda, the Goddess Tour, I definitely want to go. So I might have to take a few people with me. Gene, okay, you don't have a Switch. Bummer. But you never know. You still got some time to get a Switch. Maybe that could always be a combination birthday, Christmas, or just because we generally want you to play these video games. So we'll have to see what comes out of this. But yes, I can tell you that there's a lot of great Nintendo games that you get a Switch. You'll have a lot of fun, whether you're doing the Switch Lite or the regular Switch with portable and hook it up to the console. Didn't you feel when you were watching those Metroid Dread that you were getting a alien feel, like that claustrophobic sense of going down corridors and watching? I watched some of the additional gameplay trailers or gameplay footage from Nintendo's Treehouse. Those those are scary, and there's more than one. I will say that. Metroid looks cool. Cool. Yes, I'm looking forward to the 2D Metroid. Zelda looks good too. The N64 memories. I love Mario Party games, but they make you want to disown family and friends. Yes, many relationships and friendships have been lost due to the chaos that is Mario Party, especially the ones with the motion controls, because sometimes you can go a lot faster than other people and they just look at you and stare, or you're just about ready to win, and then you land on something and you take all their stars. Yeah, I get overexcited there, and I'll probably sleep on the couch or outside. Um, I'm glad you like the trailers because I feel gameplay trailers, not the cinematic opening trailers that you get. I like to see actual gameplay trailers. That's a real big. I'm a proponent of showing actual gameplay. Of course, sometimes we're going to get cinematic trailers, but the more gameplay that we can see and feel, we get a better idea of what the game is. So yeah, it's cool for the announced trailer to have the big cinematics, but let's show some gameplay. Then yes, Mario Party games at our house. And I'll tell you what, you'll still be probably playing Mario Party here soon. Whether once everything starts to settle down, you'll be able to come over and we'll play some Mario Party. I'll bring the Switch over, get a few Joy-Cons. And the scope of Zelda is crazy. So Jeremy, will you be getting the Skyward Sword and finishing it the first day? Let me know in the comments. That was a special look at what Nintendo is bringing out, just a portion of what they're bringing out for 2021 and beyond. Of course, 2022, we have a lot of games that are still haven't been announced yet. Metroid Prime 4, maybe another Mario. We don't know. And that's the cool thing. But we got to remember sometimes we get so excited of what's coming out that we might forget what is right in front of us. So make sure you take your time to enjoy all the video games that are out now. Let's discuss them as you play them. Tell me what some of your favorite events. You can put it on your social media, our social media here on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, maybe a short video sharing because I'd like to get some interaction. And I want to thank everyone for watching. So in the meantime, think about that question of what you look for from Nintendo this year and what you're like to play. For this episode of Delve, I'm Tom Morris. And until next time, enjoy everything related to pop culture.